Hey guys, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. I am your host, Roxanne, here at Ascension. We already have a couple people in the room. Thanks all for joining. And if you join us and if you care, never mind, I had it on mute. I'm good. I just realized I didn't unmute my microphone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Odyssey of Ascension, to Sunday Evening with Roxanne, and I am Roxanne. And let's say thanks for joining in. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please consider. Hello, Lights, Language of Lights. Hello, darling. Light language and channeling. Hi, sweetie. We got Ann in the room, too. If you're just coming in, please say hello in the chat. It's always good to see you guys here. And I know it's been quite some time. I have a hell of a farmer's tan, don't I? My God. Wendy and Dave. Oh, there you go. Hi, darlings. I think I need to stop and just wear my vest when I'm riding. This is all from the bike ride. Yeah, that's a really I'm like looking at it, I was like, God, that is a really farmer's tan. I need to work on that. All right, guys, I want to talk about this evening. I got the idea to discuss some of the stuff that we're doing in our master classes. It's what's the matter with matter, and Osipius is teaching us particular concepts, and I'd like to convey a little bit to you. When we have an understanding of something, that changes our definition of reality, maybe not in the actionable way that the human ego likes, which means once you learn something, it should be tangible, executable, and it should be usable. Otherwise, it's the waste of time. A lot of people like, why should we do math longhand? Why should we do things that we're never going to use in life? And, you know, the people have their theories about them and they can explain it away with reason and shit like that. I'm not buying it. It doesn't matter what it's going to do egoically for you. So what's the matter on matter is to teach you ideas about what's happening in reality, in actuality, instead of perception. The human has a perception of reality as many things that are illusionary, yet they take them very as a standard, as a way of life, as this is it and there's nothing else. The one thing we take as standard is it's one solid earth. And there's another thing you take as standard, that it is a consistent one history timeline. It's not a solid earth. It's a light show. And there's billions of earths. And the earth is exclusive to you and your perception. The co-creators are birthed in vibrational fashion as a reflection in the mirror. So I'd like you to pretend that you're in a room, and we're going to look at a bird's eye view. This is you right here in a room. That room at your level, just say you're down here and you're looking, and this line represents the mirror. So wherever you're pointing, your reality is birthing immediately from your will, not from your brain. Make no mistake about it. If your brain was equal to your manifestation intelligent will, then whatever you wanted, whatever you desired, whatever you would wish would manifest instantly in front of you. Because that's how matter works in a physical reality. The matter appears on the consciousness of your collective inner self and, of course, you. Something comes into your reality, The mug is made out of molecules and atoms, and it forms something. Now, I want you to look at the mug, and I want you to notice something. That this mug here is my version that I see. The one you see on the computer is not this mug. I only create my version of the mug. Telepathically, pay attention, telepathically, you see in this idea that I have a mug. You see it in your eyes, but that's completely secondary. That's experiential. But telepathically, we're connecting in the moment. Don't think for 1 second that your collective whole isn't right here with me and I'm right there with you. Because again, the law is everything is here and now. So understand that you're creating a version of the mug that is inclusive to your perspective. So if whatever you see is not what I see, because I only can see it at this angle. Is it a different color? No. It's the same color, it's the same design, it's the same mug, but it's uniquely yours with the variances within your reality. See, that's why like if you go to five witnesses to an accident, you get five different versions. There might be some agreements, but they're all creating their own version of that scene. And that's what you have to understand about matter. So you can look at reality around you as a way to perceive matter being created instantaneously by your willful projection. So when you go to the store and bring something home, you're creating that in every split pulsation second, this idea, and now it's permanently in your house until you get rid of it. So that's why you wake up every morning, you have the same furniture there, you have the same TV there, you have the same body, but it's all brand new. That's what you have to see. It reprograms everything. Now we add in the beautiful idea of time. We perceive decay. We have death. We have new and old. That's part of the space-time continuum illusion. So guess what? Things get old. Things break down. Things fade. Things decay. Nothing looks new, including your body. But it's brand new according to the version of reality that you have accepted as a space-time continuum, and that's why things get old. Now, what does this do for you? What does that do for you as an ascender, as someone who wants to understand consciousness? Well, now it's up to you to do something with that, but not in effort, in awareness. That in and of itself starts to change your perception of reality, knowing that you are pulsing in and out of reality. You have one universe of solid, and then it collapses, and all that antimatter, dark matter, all the shit that the scientists are trying to figure out what's between the pulsations is another universe. That's the not universe that you're in, but it is an existing place. And then you pulsate back and you explode right back into reality. Pardon me, right back into reality, and that pulsation takes place. That understanding in and of itself is going to lead you to awareness and looking at your reality as not so solid, not so continuous, definitely not cause and effect. You don't want to play reality as a certainty of, oh, my action in this now caused this. Then you in your mind sell you a story of cause and effect due to action, which leads to either success or guilt, validating a polarized perception of reality. And that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to validate polarity, because polarity is a perception of this space-time continuum based on the idea of being born, not remembering, and birthing yourself into a separated world, meaning the human collective doesn't know that they're creators. So in these thousands and thousands and thousands of collapsed timelines all over, humanity has merged itself into different ideas of what life is, what it's all about. And you come in and start downloading all of this telepathy from the mass collective, and you start to understand life as such, and everything that is what you perceive is reinforced. So of course you go, absolutely. there's nothing but polarity. Theo, how are you, baby? Great to see you. You start to see, or you start to reinforce reality as such, which means, okay, there's a tomorrow because there's always a tomorrow because we have space-time continuum. Hi, Juliet. Okay, so I have a memory that says there's a tomorrow, and I have a memory that has a yesterday. Now, those things did occur, and a tomorrow is absolutely possible. But you must remember that's a perception of the now. So when you influence your reality with the ideas of the conceptualizations that you carry on, well, the reality is going to reinforce those things because what you put out is what you get back. So you want to start to dismantle these solid ideas about reality that keep you convinced that these things are what they are and there's no changing them. Of course there's changing them. But you have to start to learn to manifest within the willful intent of yourself that has nothing to do with need, want, desire, hope, must, have, ought to, shoulda, coulda, anything that's tied with time, anything that's tied with lack, anything outside of the authentic self in the moment. And of course, you're going to sell yourself a story that your truth in the moment is the authentic self. And it could be, but you have to learn yourself. You already know your mind up here, don't you? Doesn't it tell you what to do? Doesn't it tell you, oh, that's good through your emotions? Doesn't it say this is the best case scenario? And you go, oh, yeah, emotionally, yeah, that's best because if I don't, there's a cause and there's an effect. So you're listening to your ego mind, but you're not listening to your intelligent self, your inner self, the I am. That's how discernment has to be played out. You have to do a work of a master to recognize and deconstruct the belief systems that were structured because of the illusion being born into it for the pure experience, which is absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. But it's painful. To be transparent, it fucking hurts. It gets very discouraging and upsetting. Why is that? Why do I get mad? Why does reality piss me off? Right? I got mad the other day on a person on a phone because they tried us. It wasn't a scammer. It was a legitimate company that they tried to sneak in some fees on me and do some stuff. And I got angry. And then I had a dream last night about me getting angry. And that was that picture I just showed you. I was yelling in the mirror. It was a version of a person. And I was yelling. I looked like a fucking idiot from my perspective. I was like, why am I yelling? Well, because I have truth and emotion. That emotion triggered a response because I was about to be deceived by a company that I've been with for 10 years on adding these other things that I didn't need. And if I didn't speak up, but just the act itself it made me very angry. So I reacted. Now I have to be a master and say, wow, next time this occurs, I don't need to react like a child because they're not going to get away with it either way. If I yell, that's my solution because my parents yelled at me. I learned to get mad. I learned to yell. That's all I was taught. Yell, yell, yell equals solution. So I understood that. Now I see that's a child's game. So you have to look at yourself and recognize the structures that you depend on to create a seamless reality of consistency or congruency in the idea of continuity of your life, right? And matter does that. All of this stuff, this pen is here every day because in my consciousness, it's still here. When something disappears out of my reality, I moved it or someone else moved it. Or, which is something we can get into a later day, you shift to another earth. And sometimes you do shift earths where your car's a different color or your work's in a different position or the store that you knew was here is over here. And the way you usually go to work didn't work this time. Sometimes you shift those little vibrational earths where they're not exactly the same, but they're close enough to make you question, but you know you can figure it out. And then wonderfully, the memory is created in the moment, and the memory comes back and goes, oh yeah, it is this way. And you swear to God it was the other way. And those are the versions of yourself that you're creating. Now, that's a wonderful piece of information to understand, because what that's going to teach you is that reality isn't in the idea of constant, it is the law of constant change. So I know I'm going to have these pens here and my seat and my microphone and my desk and my clock and my little witches I have surrounding me, and all of my stuff is going to be here every day. And then when I bring something into the house, it's going to become permanent. When I take something out of the house, it's going to be gone. Because in my mind, I have released those molecules to create that form. Now, that form is made out of what we would call a telepathic intention. So as I take something from the store, telepathically, I'm in that space-time continuum, and there's a blouse I like, or there's a new pair of jeans that I want, and I get those jeans. Those jeans don't exist until I get to that store. See, they're there in the people in the co-created psyche. When I go up to it, I create my version of the jeans. When I pick them up and put them in my hand, that's my version of that blouse or that jeans. And I go try them on. And if I like them, I buy them and I take them home with me. So now they're part of my reality. And when I go and get them in the morning and put on that blouse or put on those jeans, guess what? I'm going to have that shirt. It's going to be there because psychically it's part of my mass collective. Now I'm creating these realities. My apartment's the same, the back is the same, and all of those subtle little changes come in with time and things like that, and things wear down. I noticed a pair of my jeans that I wear a lot are starting to wear a little bit, and I can see the wear in them because they're depleting. So the reality of those molecules and atoms start to shift the reality of appearance and start the procedure of decay. We need to know these things, because if you're thinking on an algorithm truth that this is solid and it is always going to be the same, then you're going to miss out on the magic of the spontaneity of the now. Okay, there's no matter that is durable. Matter is changeable. It's changeable by your will. You program it to look like something. This is how manifestation works. This is how some manifestation works. You can have, which is recorded, everyone knows about the monks in Tibet. The really good ones can manifest little things out of thin air because they understand a willful intent sends the programming into what they call matter and manifest that form because they know they're living in their minds. They know this is a holodeck. They know it's a projection, just like we know that. And they've mastered it out of 1,000 years of dedication and understanding, passing on those generational, that they go, oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna manifest a sandwich. They don't manifest money. They don't manifest things of parlor tricks and things of need and desire. They're here to experience themselves, and that's the path they've chosen. You're here to experience yourself. Now understand the path you've chosen. If you're in front of me, you're doing something that is beneficial to your awakening, because that's what we do at Odyssey of Ascension. We offer perspectives, truths, tried and experiential truths of ways to deconstruct the valuable idea of your experience in a polarized, separated world. First thing you got to know is that you're a God. You're an eternal being. You're an eternal creator. You can't create because you forgot everything when you project yourself into this co-created mass psyche as a projection of this physical body, which is all being created by you. And your perception of your body is exclusively your perception of your body. So how you look to yourself will always be how you look to yourself. It'll never be how anyone else sees you. Although you may agree that you look the same, you don't, because you can never see another's perspective. So these ideas will start to unwind the solidity and allowing new information that is being attracted because you're interested in awakening, interested in ascending the illusion, becoming more of an intelligent being, a walking God on earth, a probability of Homo Divinicus, which we are working fervently on. We have a class for that. And these ideas will start to deconstruct the solidity of your reality once again, so you can start to allow different thoughts to penetrate through this illusion of constant and must and worries and responsibilities and obligations. And here's what I'm supposed to do. And I got to do all this. And then you just live life and you die. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's opportunity. And the opportunity is wisdom. It's intelligence. It's awareness. And then the execution of this wisdom and these ideas is the change. And change offers new realities of experience that are not tied in with what is very, 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 very predictable on earth. You guys can predict the end of your life. If you know what kind of money you make and you're done with your education, you know what house you can afford, you know what vacations you can take, you know what kind of car you can buy. 99% chance nothing magical is going to happen that's going to change any of that. So you can write out on the paper right now the potential of the rest of your life and the ideas that you're going to entertain yourself with until you die. Now, that's one way to live, and that's not wrong. But there's another way to live. It's called the second law, here and now. First law is I exist. Second law is here and now. Right? Everything is here and now, and now offers change. But perception of constant and the focus on only the earthly ideas of emotional relationships, which is responsibility, which is obligation, which is dedication, which is the idea of the responsibilities for your family or your children or your work and your things. And it's monumental, because this whole fucking thing, this whole goddamn world, this whole fucking paradigm we live in is based on money, give and take, earn. And the ones who can take without any kind of remorse are the winners. Those are the ones that get the most money, and they just take and take and take. And the ones that have big hearts that are nice give, and they don't get back, because the mirror doesn't work that way. The mirror isn't polarized. There's no karma. All of that is horseshit. What it is that you're a valuable worthiness to yourself. And since you stop these ideas and start realizing the things that they are, starts to understand that, oh, this is me. I'm the creator of my reality. My vibration attracts my potential. My vibration attracts my change. If I constantly do the same thing, I will constantly have the same life. Am I okay with that? If the answer is yes, have a Coke and a smile and keep rocking. But if you want change, then you have to look within. You have to understand the truths that you employ every day. You have to understand your emotional value that can create your reality, your responses, your reactions, your behavior. And those things have to change if you want change in your life. But you can't dictate the change. You can't demand the change. You can't want the change in a particular way. And when things don't go your way, have a conniption. First thing you got to do is start with your emotional value. You have to start looking at that. We have an item here in the chat. I have been having problems with peanut butter, and the way I know Jiffy and Jif both are real, but one is not. Reality shifting. Yes, exactly. One is Jif and one is Jiffy. Yep, that's just two different realities. Not a big deal. It's not magic, and it's not crazy like Bernstein Bears and Bernstein Bears. It just shows you there's different nerves. And that's easy to understand and hold that in your heart and say, that's cool. I know that now. But see, don't look for things of mystical and magic to do something for you. Don't make them, oh my God, I got the answers and now I'm rescued. No, dig in and do the work. So understanding that matter is manifested in each bubble, that when you're walking around in this little bubble, okay, it's not actually moving. You haven't moved ever. You're just in thought, and everything moves around you and is created. And in whatever direction you move in, the reality is created. Because I can see what's behind me, but I'm not actually behind me looking at behind me. I'm looking what I created in front of me. As a reflection, I can see the camera that says this is behind me. But in my perception, it's actually in front of me. If I turned around, it's still in front of me. And whatever's behind me is not there. There's no outside until I open the door. See, that's what you have to understand. It pulsates so quick in and out of reality. So understand that atoms and molecules have auras like we do. And that aura is given instructions. And that instruction is given by creators. And creators manifest these forms. And the forms aren't what you would particularly call durable. They're changeable. So your whole reality and all these molecules are changing. And new molecules and new ideas are always birthing. And these other molecules that are changing into other ideas. Okay? So I want you to know that. I want you to learn that about reality. So to review, just know that it's not one earth. It's shifting earths. And know that reality is a pulsation. And know that there's two universes, the one that you see and the one that's collapsed, the universe that you don't see, because your memory covers up the lapses between the two. Know that everyone creates their own idea. I want you to do this sometime. Maybe do this sometime. Maybe have you and your friends all sit in the room. Put an object in the middle of a table. Maybe a candle or a spoon or something that's sizable that you all can focus on. And then I want you to realize, how about this? Let me walk you through it, okay? Let's look at the object. Let's look at the table in this fashion. Let's say it's a cup. Okay, say we put a cup, and then you have 4 people in the room. All right, just to review, you're creating one version of a cup. They're creating the cup. They're creating the cup. And they're creating the cup. And they're only creating a portion of a cup, not the cup. There is actually no cup in the middle of the room. There's only a cup to the ones who are present viewing the cup. And this cup is not this cup, is not this cup, is not this cup. Because remember, each one of these persons is in their own universe. Do you see that? Hey, Kevin, do you see that? Here's the cup in the middle of the room. The arrows are everyone is creating their own version of the cup. But there's no cup actually in the middle of the room, but they're telepathically, you're agreeing there is a cup and you're perceiving it through each individual universe as in the space-time continuum, the reflection, there's a cup. So that's what telepathically. Okay, that's why telepathy is the easiest thing to do. How many times have you guys absolutely known what people were going to say or what was going to happen? That's not a guess. That's telepathic connectivity in the now. And remember, we work in time. So time slows everything down. So you know in the now, before anything happens, you already know. You already know what they're going to say. You already know what's happening. You have to tune that in. You have to hone that skill. It's not going to be given to you. Stop looking for everything to be given to you in the idea of I'm just going to sit back and everything is going to be given to me because I'm entitled. You have to work on these things. That's part of the experience of evolution, is to focus. Do the card deck. I practice these all the frickin' time. I'm up to about 80% on the suits. I'm about 60% on what's on it. But that's after 4 or 5 years of working on these every day. to learn the vibrational context of my mind and my inner self. Because my inner self is creating the card. How could I not know this card? Because I have an illusion that thinks, oh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be that, it could be that. And I had to stop listening to that vibration. So first I had to learn the vibration of my thinking mind, and I had to learn the vibration of my intelligent self. And I started after work, started to feel and take note of, oh, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. And I'm getting better and better. But my skill set out in public, I know what people are thinking. I know what they're thinking all the time. And I can't be wrong because I'm never wrong in my own world. And that's not arrogance. I just know the difference of my ego mind and my intelligent mind. And I don't listen to my ego mind because the first thought I get is the truest thought. The second thought is my doubt. So I don't pay attention to my doubt anymore. I only pay attention to me. That's the discernment you have to learn the inner self, to learn the I am. The development of the inner senses is a whole new idea. I am working on that with the master classes, and we're working hard on those things. So that means meditation. That means dedication to the concept in the meditation to allow the concept to become more. Those acts themselves start to change reality. Wish we could all take the red pill or the blue pill, whatever pill it is that takes us home. But we're here on our own with our own wits connected to our collective whole, which means you are present with God, an all-knowing being, you, and that being you have access to. So you have to work on taking down this wonderful solid illusion. Yeah? Yes, Theo. The discernment. So you have to work on those ideas. So that's why I'll give you the information on the matter and how you can start to see that it's not so solid. That when you see a person, that person is an image reflected in your reality and you're actually co-created. So the image you're creating of that person is what the projection is of that collective whole says, this is what I look like, but it's still only what you see. They're their own version of themselves. Freaky. Okay? So start to meditate on these things. Start to think on these things. I got a new fennel tea, and it's delicious. It tastes like licorice. A good black licorice. Not Twizzlers or Red Vines, but Red Vines are good. I don't like Twizzlers. Too plasticky. Anyways. Hey, listen. Okay, so let me say this. I got the Divinicus classes are starting at the end of the month on October 1st, rather. October 7th, I'm sorry. But no one signed up yet. A person from my master class is coming, but no one else. So if there's no signups, I might push it back to November. It's extremely important information about a new species that we have the potential to create. In my master's classes, we've been working on this. So I have enough material now that we've covered and experienced to pass it on. The price is $300. It's 6 weeks long. That's valuable. That's exchange of energy that's valuable. If there's anything I can do to stop money on this planet, I would. But we can't. We can't at this time. Because that's the collective, and we live with the collective. We live with the collective, so you have to use the idea of money until the entire collective sees through it and then past that. Okay? So if you're interested in those classes, read with the idea about them. I wrote what it, the about what it is, what it entails. And then also I have the last workshop for $249, 900 and 900. 9 hours worth of information of channeling from Osifius, Buford, and of course, Sylvester. And that's on the website as well. So, and of course, there's sessions. I think I'm going to open the master classes back up once we're finished with this pod of information, and then if anyone comes new to the master classes, we will start on the new idea. But I will announce that. And the last thing is, it's been a while, so it's great to see you guys, and I'm glad you're back. As always, feel free to like us, like and subscribe if you like, and donations. If you like to donate and support the channel in a different way, click the link for my channel, hit the donate button, channel whatever you will, donate whatever you will. All right, everyone. I appreciate you all. We had 10 people back in the room. That's all awesome. On the first time we're back, we'll be back next week as well. And till then, I love you. If you need me, don't hesitate to connect with me through my email and or through my website, and I'll get back with you, okay? Thanks again, everyone. Good to be back. Love you all. Bye.